What if everything that makes you feel broken right now is actually the beginning of you becoming unbreakable? What if the anxiety you feel, the failures you've experienced, the moments you felt invisible, what if all of it is not a mistake, but a masterclass in strength? What if the most attractive people in this world are not attractive because life was easy for them, but because they decided that their struggles would become their strength? What if right now, in this exact moment, you are at the edge of becoming someone so mentally powerful, so genuinely magnetic, that people will feel different just being around you? What if the only difference between the person you are now and the person you'll become is 7 habits? 7 simple, consistent, powerful habits that will transform your mind, elevate your presence, and make you undeniable. What if I told you that every great mind, every strong person, every truly attractive human being started exactly where you are right now, confused, searching, but willing to listen? So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're about to discover the 7 non-negotiable habits that will rebuild you from the inside out and make you irresistible. This is not motivation, this is not inspiration, this is the blueprint that separates those who merely exist from those who actually dominate their lives. Your transformation is waiting. Let's begin. What if right now, in this exact moment, you are closer to becoming the person you've always wanted to be than you think, but you've been looking for change in all the wrong places? Most people search for attractiveness and strength as if they're shopping for a new outfit. They think it lives somewhere outside them, in another person, in another place, in another time. They'll be attractive when they have more money, when they lose weight, when they find the right partner, when circumstances finally align. But this is the fundamental lie we've been sold. The truth that changes everything is this: attractiveness and mental strength are not destinations. They are accumulations of daily choices that stack like bricks to build a fortress. You don't wake up one day strong. You become strong through 10,000 small moments of choosing yourself when it would be easier not to. Consider the most genuinely attractive person you know. Not beautiful on Instagram, but actually magnetic in real life. When you are around them, you feel different. You stand a little straighter. You speak more honestly. You feel less alone. Have you ever wondered why? It's not because of how they look or what they own. It's because they've done the invisible work. They've trained their mind like others train their bodies, and it shows in every fiber of their being. Real attractiveness starts with something most people completely overlook: the quality of your inner space. Your mind is like a garden. If you never tend it, weeds grow. Chaos becomes the default. But the moment you begin to cultivate it, to notice your thoughts instead of being controlled by them, everything changes. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become an architect of your reality. People feel this shift. They are drawn to it like moths to light, because in a world of reactive, anxious, desperate energy, the person with a quiet mind is absolutely magnetic. Now let's talk about discipline, but not the kind that makes you miserable. Real discipline is actually an act of self-love. It's saying, I care about myself too much to accept mediocrity. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice: comfort or growth. Most people choose comfort because it requires nothing, but the person choosing growth repeatedly, day after day, becomes a completely different human being. This discipline compounds. In 6 months, you won't recognize yourself. In a year, others won't either. And this version of you, the one who keeps their promises to themselves, is devastatingly attractive because people sense reliability, commitment, and integrity. But here's what most people don't understand. All of this starts with something as simple and powerful as breath. Your nervous system is like a wild horse. Most people let circumstances be the rider. But when you learn to breathe with intention, you become the rider. A person who can stay calm under pressure is a person with true power. They don't react, they respond. They don't panic, they think. They don't scatter their energy, they focus it. This quality is so rare that when people encounter someone with it, they feel safe, they feel protected, Attractiveness at its deepest is about making people feel safe in your presence. And then there's the reality of your relationships. Your connections are honest mirrors. If your inner world is chaotic, your relationships will be too. But the moment you begin to work on yourself, to increase your standards for who deserves access to your energy, something shifts. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop competing for attention. You stop trying to change people who don't want to change. And paradoxically, the moment you stop chasing, people start staying. Strong people have fewer but deeper friendships because they understand that quality always beats quantity. Here's what separates ordinary people from extraordinary people: how they respond to pain. Pain is a teacher, but only if you're willing to be a student. Every time something breaks, something grows in that space if you let it. The person who's been rejected, who's failed, who's lost, if they extract the lesson, they're not traumatized, they're educated. Their wisdom becomes their power. And people with wisdom are automatically attractive because wisdom cannot be faked. It can only be earned. Finally, understand that the time you spend alone is not wasted time. It's the most important time. In a world that constantly demands your attention, the person who reclaims solitude reclaims themselves. Solitude is where you meet yourself without the noise of other people's opinions, expectations, and demands. In this space, you rebuild, you reset, you reconnect with your truth. And when you spend significant time with yourself, you become comfortable within yourself. You no longer desperately need others to validate you because you've already validated yourself 1,000 times. The 7 habits that create attractiveness and mental strength are not complicated. They're just rare because most people are too distracted, too comfortable, too afraid to do them. But you're different. You're reading this right now, which means part of you knows that change is possible. So the question is not whether these habits work. The question is whether you're willing to work these habits. The person you will become is being built right now, in these moments, through these choices. You are either growing or declining. There is no plateau. The decision to become attractive, mentally strong, unshakable, that decision is available to you today. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, today. Because the person with the most discipline is not the person who's been given the easiest circumstances. It's the person who decided that no circumstance was an excuse. Make that decision now.